Hey, what's up, y'all? Metal. So, let's talk about April 27, 2019, why this is kind of a very unique day for me. And maybe you'll find a correlation in some days that are unique to you. So, today would have been my 4-year anniversary with a former aerospace company that I worked with. And it is also synonymous with 30 days, a month, since I departed the company. So kind of an interesting twist there. So it made me think about, my time back with the company. And to be honest with you, great experience for me, for the positives and the negatives. But I thoroughly enjoyed working on all the really cool technology that I was a part of, and help build, test, and integrate, inspect, whatever. So that was great. And it was also my transition from aviation, which I had done for 10 years in the Marine Corps. And so this was my first job in aerospace. So I had, that excitement, that kind of like childlike excitement when you're around stuff that's, new to you. So, there's just something about working on a rocket or a rocket engine and then just seeing it, take off, and you go, wow, I was part of that team that put that thing in orbit, or a customer's a part of the world that now has internet service or communications because of your contribution to getting it up in the sky. So there's a real lot of pride that goes along with that. But I think the best part of the job was the like-minded individuals that I worked with. And you ever want to know anything about somebody, work with them. How they work tells you everything about them. And and maybe I'll make a whole video on that, matter of fact. So I won't digress into that. So the true believers that work there are really the reason that company succeeds. And when I say true believer, I mean they show up every day wanting to make the company better because it helps them and it helps everyone else around them. They work their asses off. And I'm telling you, when you're in the middle of getting it done and you look up and you just see everyone, everywhere, just getting things done, man, it's just a beautiful sight and it's very inspiring. And you're like, you know what, I need to pick it up a little bit here. I need to go. So I love the true believers that work hard, who are smart, have common sense, but most of all, they have freaking integrity. And I'm telling you, that word integrity is almost a dividing line in this nation these days. So for that reason, I would never root against my former company, because I would consider that, an amateur thing. And if you pardon my language, why would you want to be a fucking amateur when you can be a professional? So I choose to be professional. I'm pulling for that company because I'm pulling for American Aerospace, which I want to succeed, which is coming back into the light, and we're about to have the best engines in the world. I currently think we do, with the one I just worked on, which is uniquely flight proven that no other engine has done. And I feel like if I was to say bad things or slander my former employer, that I would be saying bad things about the people that I work with, who are my friends and who I love dearly because of, what they do. They're great people. So I will not do that. So I'm pulling for them, and I'll always be happy every time they knock something out of the park. But now I get to kind of unbiasedly look at the competitors a little bit more and be like, yeah, cool. They do some cool stuff over there too. So anyway, that's why today is a good day for me. So let me transition that into talking about how it made me better. So I think really the biggest thing is it gave me like the inspiration and the motivation to realize that I'm pretty self-motivated and that I can get it done myself too. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to start a rocket company. No, I think we got too many great startups doing that right now. But if you figure, now I was a non-exempt employee, so I was paid by the hour. And obviously with pay laws and so forth, I have to be paid time and a half, and I have to be paid double time. So obviously they're very careful about making sure how much overtime and double time that you get, especially now. So most of the time my shift was either a 10 or a 12-hour shift. Back when I first started in 2015, they were longer because I was working in California and we were shipping stuff. And anytime you had to ship a major component, it was always anarchy until it got done. But down here at the launch site, I actually did pretty regular hours, I would say. We had a couple of times when we were down to 40, but most of the time I was like a 55 hours, I'd say on average was my work week, which really isn't that bad. You figure that my average day was 12 hours, and that's like the 10 hours and change that I work and my to and from time to work, as long as getting ready to go there. So that's about a 12-hour day, right? And if it was a launch day, you would probably work 14 to 15 hours. Now, when you do that like 6 days a week, it's great on the paycheck. I mean, I was a 6-figure income earner there with that company, but it's also kind of demotivating when you get home because you don't want to do anything. Like, I had one day off. What am I doing? I'm doing laundry, I'm cleaning my place, and I'm doing whatever else I can only gets done because I don't have time to do it during the work week. So that's kind of like an attrition thing. After a while, you just kind of get sick of it. So to the point I'm trying to make is, if I'm working 12 to 15 hours a day, and if I'm like a self-motivator, and I have generally no fear of what I can do, what could I do with myself if I invested that same 12 to 15 hours just for me? You ever think about that? What if you did that? What if you had a year or two, or even a month, week, a day, and you just took 12 hours for yourself? And I don't mean binge watching TV or playing your Xbox or whatever it is. That's crap. Fun once in a while. But if that's your regular routine, no. That's a waste of your damn time, okay? But think about it. What if you just developed yourself and said, you know what, I really wanted to do this. Let's make that happen. So that's basically kind of what I have gone through since I departed the company. And I've been investing my time in school and working from home. And I probably work actually more hours now here than I did there, which is crazy to think about, especially if anyone who knows what I'm talking about who's worked there, those hours are, you never know what's happening there. So, but I've never been more fulfilled. So I would ask yourself, why are you not doing it yourself? That would be my rhetorical question for you. I do hope, that it inspires you to think maybe about pushing yourself out of your comfort zone. And I most certainly am right now, but I think the benefits will far outweigh any of my inconveniences and lack of comfort right now when I have my degree, which I should have in about 6 months. And as my business picks up, and quite possibly, and it's certainly my goal, I don't plan on ever going back to working a 40-hour job. So when your backup plan is aerospace and your primary job is working from home, I think that's a good plan. So anyway, I hope you have a great freaking day. I hope that made you think about some stuff. And as always, please subscribe, because I want to keep developing this and making a really killer page. And comments, likes, questions, give them to me, man. Make me wiser. I need it. So y'all take care. Metal.